We're so excited to be entering strong into season 11 Texas State Songwriters Championship. This year, we've decided to open our shows up for donation tickets and free online viewing. We hope you catch a show, TexasStateSongwriters.com.
Hello and welcome. I am doing this just a little bit differently today. Where there is a will, there is a way. Kimberly was dealing with some stuff and thought she was going to have to cancel the interview. We got it figured out so she can call in here. I'm actually going to call her right now. She's probably watching, wondering when I'm going to do that. And see if we can get her on here. I thought I was connected to. Hey, I am trying to figure out, because it says that I'm connected for calls, why it's not playing you through my speaker instead of my phone. All right, it might be now. Maybe. Oh my goodness. Y'all, it's the case of the Mondays. They're hitting hard. I had someone up here for an interview earlier today, and I dropped my internet stuff on the ground like 5 times, just trying to move my desks. All right, well, let's see if we can pick this live up this way then. Okay. This should be interesting. I don't even know. Maybe.
Or maybe even 10 minutes and see how it goes.
Well, I don't know if they can hear you or not, but I got you propped up right next to the camera. My speaker on my phone, unfortunately, is not very loud at all.
Okay.
Can you maybe have someone next to you check our Facebook feed and see if they can hear you talking?
Let me see. Hold on.
Because I would hate to waste
your page, your business page. Sorry.
I think it's picking it up. The mic is showing something.
Okay. The others here aren't able to get through. The Wi-Fi just isn't good.
Well, we're gonna wing it, Kimberly. I think that my microphone is actually picking it up. I have like this balancing act of my cell phone sitting on top of the camera, balancing that's facing me so that the microphone can hear you. And this is what they call tenacity. This is what they call showing up. Thank you, Kimberly, despite all of the personal stuff that you're going through, for making sure that you were still on the call. We're blessed to have you on here and can't wait to hear your story. How long have you been performing?
Hi, good evening. Well, I've actually been writing songs almost 9 years, and really performing, I would say just 3. Just maybe 3 of the years.
Wow. So for performing for 3 years, I mean, on your website, you have quite the list of accolades for only performing for 3 years. Because in 2024, 2023, and 2022, you have awards. You have awards in 2022, Vocalist of the Year, Rising Star, Songwriter of the Year with International Singer-Songwriter Association. In 2023, World Songwriting Awards, Best Gospel Song. You also got Best Alternative Song in 2022 with them. And then just last year, USA Female Vocalist of the Year, Rising Star, Songwriter of the Year, and Emerging Artist. It's absolutely phenomenal. That's a whole trophy case worth of accolades.
Oh, thank you. And I got some more to add to that. Some other things going on I found out about in June and July just now.
Well, let's hear it. What's the exciting news?
All right. Well, you did mention WSA, which is abbreviated, this World Songwriter Award. Let's see. This one is one of the newer ones, meaning a different version I'm going to mention right now. So it's Best Song World Music. So this is how it says, Best Song World Music. So my song, Just Want to Be Free, the UK version. During the pandemic, I met some people, of course, online, of course, the media. But we had phone calls and some FaceTime. Anyway, they have a studio there in the UK and have their own little band, and they were wanting to do this. So I was like, sure, I don't have people all the time like, hi, I want to sing your songs. You know, that'll be a good thing to have. And lo and behold, I had it finished up last year, sent on the radio. My promoter got it out real strong, I would say by last October, November of last year. I entered it, I think maybe February this year, and I got notified in June. So I'm like, okay. So now there is the U.S. version came out about 4 years ago. So this is same thing, just done in the United Kingdom.
Nice. It's been really awesome to see these other countries starting to cross-pollinate with American music. Like listening to the Japanese people sing country music is a whole jam. Like it's really awesome. You know, and then also that people are actually getting along and enjoying things and wanting to learn about other cultures and all that goes with that is really cool.
I totally agree. And there's one more to mention as well in a second. But I was going to say the UK seems very interested in my song Every Moment. That's been out a good 5 years. And out of all stations, like maybe Germany, I could name several, but the UK seems the most interested in Every Moment. So I'm really excited.
We have 2 songs with us, Set Me Free and Letting Go, but what's the story behind Every Moment? They can go check that out on Spotify.
I'd love to share the story. I actually started writing that as a poem. Now, I've mentioned that on other interviews, like when my music started out as poetry. And I'm probably going to say 30% if I had to give a number. So here I am rhyming words and like, oh yeah, pain and gain. I could just come up with some words and lyrics right now. And over the years, it didn't, feel right. And here I am just kind of giving you ad-lib during the interview. Every moment, life didn't seem fair. So here I am during the chorus, and it really hit me like this needs to be a song. And we're talking a good 5, maybe 6 years ago. And I'll even go and tell you where I finished. It was in Virginia. I was on vacation, and the children were asleep. I'm like, what a great time to be writing in the living room. And I remember working on that one for probably 4, 5, 6 months. But besides where I did it in Virginia, what happened, I was going through some really, really hard times about 5, 6, I think it's 6.5 years ago. And by the way, I want to mention Letting Go was done at that time, my gospel song. But here I am going through some of the worst time of my life, and I'm just like writing, pouring my heart out in paper, and of course music. And that's how that came about.
So you have gotten into music then kind of as a healing journey, as an outlet to let out some of what you were holding inside. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And I've actually had a producer in Nashville almost say it kind of like you did. And that was like the first year I met them. And this is like 5 years ago. And they would say, yeah, this sounds like a good song for healing. And I'm not just saying that, that's literally out of her mouth. But because of some of the, I'm going to use the word trauma, which I won't get into tonight, maybe another time, but, and hardships, of course, this is my outlet. Of course, I've been a Christian a long time, and a prayer is a number 1 outlet, but music is number 2.
Well, and music is a gift from the guy you're praying to, so it makes sense.
Exactly. I've got to believe in what I'm writing, and I know it's coming from my heart. And I believe I have a real strong message for the world to hear.
So what was your first ever musical experience?
Well, I mean, going back, way back when I was a child, a little girl, I played the piano. I still play the piano, so that's pretty much always stuck with me. Now, as far as writing, like I mentioned, 8-9 years, this is not real new to me, but newer than, like people say, oh, I started writing 5 or 10 songs when I was like 12 years old. I didn't, but I did like to write. I've always been a writer and like poetry, things like that. So maybe it took me about 15 years later than people who were a teenager or, 8 years old. But I was like, hey, I'm enjoying writing. I've always liked singing, of course. I've been in choirs before. So somehow and by the way, this all came about after I had already done business school. Like a lot of my education was business and then some classes in piano. That's my minor. And all that to say, I became really interested about the age of 31. I will go and give you an age 31 somewhere there. And like, this is what I should be doing, writing and doing things Kimberly enjoys.
Right. So you mentioned the message. So out of all of your songs, each song has its own story, but you have an actual message that you hope to share through your music.
Yes, each song is like its own story. And there are a couple I've written that is going to be a story, like a story I'm telling.
I don't know how all this works. I'm unplugging this bad boy over here so it don't ring no more, maybe. Somehow.
And can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Good.
I'm trying to, I guess I'll just pop that phone off of the ringer so we don't have a bunch of ringing going on in the background. I think my cell phone rang and then the office phone rang. And hello, y'all. We do these every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. If you're trying to call Cynthia, you probably just better go to the comments section if you actually want to reach me because I am occupied. So I apologize for that. I'm like, I hope my phone doesn't fall off the camera because it was balancing and it vibrates. And then as soon as it quit,
music night.
It's Monday. You can't just, this makes it for the more entertainment. I don't know why I picked to do these on Mondays. Mondays are not the day of the week I want to do anything. But it keeps it interesting, I guess. Maybe help some other people not think that their Monday was so bad when they watch the chaos that goes through the lives. And now we're going to have a beeping noise. I couldn't find, there's so many cords over here from when they did the install. And then I completely messed it up by, I have 2 different desks in here. One I sit at and work at, and the other one I sit at and go live at. And so I was trying to move my cameras earlier today, and they have all those cords in a huge tangled mess over there. And so I couldn't find the end of the phone line. Let's hope nobody else calls. So out of your music, what is the message that you hope that the world hears?
I'm going to say really just 1 or 2 words, hope. To give hope in this world to people who are maybe not just hurting, that's a big one, but hope to people to know there's something out there greater than what you're going through. And that's not just sounds pretty, but it's true. There's, I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of freedom. I've written 4 songs, 4 so far, about the topic of freedom. That could be a whole other interview, but hope and bringing, something's greater than what they're going through. So a lot of, not everyone's happy. I've met a lot of happy people, but a lot of people who are not happy, very unhappy.
Absolutely. And there is power. The power of positivity is a big thing. The book, The Secret, that documentary, there was actually an author that did a follow-up book on that and doing, because it's about like manifesting your day, kind of like you are what you focus on. Like if you wake up in the morning and stub your toe, then the rest of your day is going to be trash because that's how it started type thing. And so he goes through and picks it apart and kind of says, what is, the Christian version of The Secret, because a lot of that is true, but a lot of that is God. like what they're explaining as far as the science part. Like there is truth in that. You have to focus and choose and want and desire what is good and pure and all of that. Like if you're putting,
Right.
you know, I mean, it would be the same as going to the gas station and putting apple juice in your gas tank instead of fuel. Like if you want something good, you can't go put bad in there and expect to get, you know, the same thing.
I like that. That's a good analogy. That's good.
I want to hear this song, Letting Go. I feel like we kind of heard a little bit about the song itself. So let's give this one a spin.
Okay.
As I struggled through the hard times and wondered what was next, I knew there must have been a greater purpose for me yet. As I look back over my life, wondered what went wrong, even questioned the reasons for the trials I faced alone. Letting go of my past is what you're showing me. Oh, showing me.
All right, y'all. I don't want to give the full song away. Someone put it best. You cannot. Yesterday is a spent check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. Today is a gift, and you can't unwrap it. If you got 1 foot in yesterday and 1 foot in tomorrow, you're not even anywhere near the gift. I know that in a lot of treatment plans, whether they be for mental health or addiction or anything like that, they have steps, and a big majority of those programs tell you to focus on 1 day at a time. And it's literally the trick to life, because if you're worried about yesterday that you can't change and tomorrow that you don't know what's going to happen, then how are you going to be prepared for anything in life?
Yeah, I agree. That's great advice. That's good.
It's not easy. It's a lot easier to say it than it is to do it, but you have to practice it. They say 21 days makes a habit. So if you just wake up and just intentionally be overly joyed, like fake it until you make it type thing, you know, if you can pull that off for 21 days, it'll just come naturally after that. But you got to tough yourself through it.
And then I want to add to that, and keeping a planner is helpful. I cannot write everything in my planner. It would be like from the table to the floor. Okay, but I do have quite a bit in a planner that helps with organizing and lists to do.
Yes, and that is another thing. So I was really bad last year, and a lot of it was trauma. I have what they call Evernote syndrome, which basically means that my brain works like a crime scene investigator's camera lens, and it does not stop. I know what's going on around me 360 degrees. That whole mom with the eyes in the back of her head is so real. Like, I can read energy instead of words because of things that I've been through. And I definitely got lost in where I was going with that. But they were telling me that the other part of that was that my brain was full to capacity, meaning that I was holding a bunch of unnecessary information in my head. And if you come to my office now and look at the walls and the amount of sticky notes that are everywhere, you will see that getting that stuff out of my head and putting it on paper to where I can go look at it instead of hold it all the time has absolutely helped in keeping me less frazzled. And that's the trick to being happy, right?
Well, can I just say one thing about that? That writing is good for the mind. I've been told that by professionals, but even more so to be creative. And I mean, not everyone wants to write a book or a story or a short story, but
Yes.
just writing thoughts down and maybe analyzing. Now, why am I thinking that? I wrote it down. What I was just thinking.
Yes.
And
journaling, and it helps you look at it from a different perspective too, because if you think about it, like, that's just a thought, but if you're reading it, you might even be like, wow, do I really, like, did I really say that? Is that how I wanted that to come out? And two, if you're struggling with like responding to people, that's a good option. Journaling is absolutely good. And they tell you too in counseling that if you can't talk about it, then you need to write about it. Like, even if you go burn that paper right afterwards so no one else sees it, you have to get that out. Everything that goes up must go down. I know that y'all know that what goes in your mouth must come out. So also your brain works like that as well.
Yeah, this is really good this evening. I'm enjoying talking this through and why, maybe other people like me write or journaling, do music things. I just say do what makes you happy. And
And you have to not care about what anybody thinks if you're going to do that.
And that's where I come in with freedom. I wrote a song called Just Want to Be Free for a lot of reasons. So.
Yes. Man, that word means something different than it did when we were first growing up, like when we were growing up, we're like, freedom, yay, we're running around the park, all this stuff, and now we're adults and we're like, where did it go?
Yeah, I also think of it as riding a bicycle. I don't ride much at all anymore, like when I was like 13 or 14, that age. But I remember thinking as a teenager, freedom, I'm not at the house, I'm at the driveway, I'm not doing chores, I'm going somewhere.
I would say that's one of the things I miss about Illinois. We had like this big, long bike trail that went right by our house and all the way down to the river. And it was like 12 miles each direction. And it was,
nice.
Yeah, we go get lost on that. And it went through the woods. There was like a little tunnel that you even drove in, which was really weird to come across. But like the tunnel went underneath the hill for the bike path, which was kind of cool. They don't have hills in Texas, so.
Oh, nice.
In East Texas, I guess, but not where we're from.
Awesome.
Not here in Wichita Falls. And you are out of Nashville, right?
I'm actually back in South Carolina, just for, I don't know, anywhere between 6 months to a year right now. As of right now, something will change probably in the fall.
Okay. Traveling is good for your soul.
There. And I found that I missed it, the area. Took my children back there last year, like the end of last year.
Would you say anyone in particular influenced your music style?
Oh, the style. Oh, wow. I was going to say, I thought you went to my favorite artist. I like Faith Hill. I could name her. Oh, influenced his style. Well, I mean, I could say like every moment I got ideas from Meredith Andrews. I actually grew up with her. She's a Christian artist. I don't know if you know of her, but she hasn't influenced every song I've written. Definitely not, but my song Every Moment, I got ideas from her song called Deeper. Let's see. I mean, a lot of the country songs, I've got a song called Because I Did. It's just a hilarious, fun song. And, I mean, a lot of these I just kind of came up with, but I mean, I could name a few artists who I kind of follow some things they do. I can name several, but Faith Hill, of course, Dolly Parton, everyone knows her. I like her business ideas, by the way.
Right.
Lauren Daigle, Dolly Parton, Faith Hill. Let's see. Of course, there's some male artists I like too. Chris Tomlin would be one for the Christian, on the other. Of course, Lauren Daigle does a lot of the pop music, but Chris Tomlin does a lot more of the worship songs. I kind of branch off because I'll do some country, some gospel, and alternative. It really kind of depends on the mood I'm in when I'm writing something.
That was my next question, because I saw that, we've been like all over those three, and there was the alternative award. I was going to ask you how many genres you're touching. Are you writing some songs with your piano then and some with your guitar?
Okay, well, I don't play the guitar. I wish I did. I have. I want to tell you. So the ones that have, well, a couple of mine that have guitar melody, like It Was Insanity, like that one. I have guitar. I had guitar players help me with melody, and that was from Myrtle Beach a while back. But yes, I play the piano, and I have written, composed. I'm not saying a lot, but several with. And by the way, these are new things I've been working on for 2 years. Because the first 4 or 5 years was more like, hey, I'm finding my place here in music or writing or lyrics. But anyway, piano, I've been doing more the last 2 years. And there is one I started in a studio in Nashville last year. Nothing bad. There's just a few things I haven't finished it yet. I've got other projects I'm doing. But I have written, I think they're really good gospel songs. So, coming up very soon, you're going to hear about them.
That's pretty exciting. I don't want to take the full hour of your time. I know that you have a lot of stuff. You got a lot of family around you right now wanting your time. And I want to thank you for coming on here. Thank you for sharing your story. Do you have any live events coming up? Where did they go to vote for you for your artist awards?
Well, the next live event is going to be the one in Atlanta, Georgia, August 23rd, and this is not performing. This year I'm not going to be, but I'm going to be meeting people I know who are. I'm going to see artists I already have met and some new ones. Atlanta for the ISSA, I'm really excited because this is a big event for the artists to get together every August. So I've been nominated for Duo of the Year. And I believe that's the only category I'm in, which that's for my song Set Me Free. And that one came out last year. I didn't ask to perform this year, and I could tell you part of it why. It's nothing bad. It's actually really good. I've got some really big news for me and my children and family going on here June, July, August. So. But hopefully next year I'll ask one of the promoters about performing for next year. I have been asked by a few churches this year, mostly in North Carolina. So let's see. Nashville, I've got people asking me when am I coming back there. So yeah, I've got some other really exciting news I've been working on this year.
All right. Well, y'all go follow Kimberly Ward Music. Tell us about Set Me Free. You said that you just released it earlier this year.
Well, it was actually last year. I'm sorry. It's been a few months, but it's going really, really good, and I'm really happy. Out of all the ones I've recorded and written, I will say that's my favorite. There's a couple reasons why. And, of course, I'm going to go say something about freedom again, but it's a duet with Sean Pody. He's very close to Nashville area. But Set Me Free is a lot of emotions about being free from pain. And on top of that, on what I went through, I've met a lot of people in my music journey, which I'll make this short. The music journey going from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, all the states nearby, like Virginia, and meeting people, and I don't just mean musicians, but people who were hurting or going through something or divorced or whatever it was. And honestly, that's how I wrote about 50% of that song, kind of what the people were telling me. I was already going through my own stuff, and then I met these people, so I'm like, they have no idea I'm going to be putting some of this into a song. I never told them. So that song's really special to my heart, and that's where I mentioned in the chorus about set me free from, I'm basically saying that, set me free, set me free.
Yeah, we're going to listen to it on the way out. I just wanted to get the story behind it beforehand.
Okay.
I'll be praying for you.
Yeah.
I hope the rest of your week goes smoother than your weekend has, and
Thank you.
we will touch base in December.
Thank you. Thank you for having me this evening, and it's been great. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. This is Set Me Free.
In life, I found out that most people want freedom in their lives, freedom from the lies surrounding them. Freedom from the pain, nothing left to gain. Would do almost anything.
August 17th, y'all, this one's going to be a fun one. We're going to go over some artist development stuff, and the top 6 get to join us at the finale. So come network, enjoy the fellowship of some fellow songwriters on a mission, and let's prove who's the best in Texas. We're going to go over artist development opportunities, sales training techniques, overcoming objection, how to maintain a positive mindset, and more. $20 entry. Each artist plays 2 songs, and then we're going to play a fun game of musical telephone. Join us August 17th at EMP Studios. $20 entry for artists. That just reserves your spot. Guests are by donation or online for free viewing.